Good day to you. Welcome to another session of Chen-Schaab, and today we are going to do robots part 2. So today we are going to work on utility robots that serve a function. In this regard, we are going to have fun and explore and design and try to create our very own robots that are used in industry and in construction. So over here you can see two robots that I've created. I call this an industrial heavy lifter. So you could see that the robot, let's begin from the top, it has a cockpit over here. So you could actually decide if you want it to be a cockpit, or it could be an AI drone, so that it would have a computer brain to dictate how it would operate and how it would carry on its functions. And over here, I have a communications package, is an antenna. Over here, it has heavy-duty grapplers for heavy lifting. And over here, it has like a welding attachment. And it has very strong, sturdy legs and a very wide base on the feet, so it has a lot of stability. And we can see over here, this is my sensor package. It would have cameras for visual data input, and it has sensors. For instance, if it's working in a nuclear plant, it could possibly detect radiation and whatever else you need in there. And also we have here these stripes, these high visibility warning stripes, so that people who are approaching the machine know to stay clear of it. So it's visible and it's very obvious. And also from here you can see there's a danger label here. So these are fine details, and I've tried to color it to make it look like the robot is very well used and worn, and there's a lot of stains, or it could be rust. And over here I have the size of the person in relation to the robot. Alright. And I had a lot of fun when I was a kid, doing all sorts of robots, and then deciding what kind of robots they are, and like what kind of power rating, what is its weight, its height, its capabilities, what kind of environment does it work in. It could be like working deep water, underwater. It could be in outer space. What kind of material and alloys the robot is made up of. So I have here two designs. So for this robot, I decided to go for a more elegant look. So it's kind of like a more slender shape as compared to this, which looks a bit heavy and bulky. So over here, I designed this one to have a cockpit. But you could always take this out and decide that, it is fully automated. It has a robotic brain. And you just have to redesign this particular portion. And it has come over down on this arm, it has the grapplers, and over here it has a welding gun, so it could like solder wires together, sheets of metal and stuff. And it has a wide skirt, slender legs that comes down to a strong, powerful claw for the feet. So these are just two designs that I made, and today we will try to create our very own robots. Over here I have examples of the different attachments for the arms. You could go online and look, just type in construction vehicles or robotic arms, and you would get a lot of pictures that you can draw inspiration from and you could reference. And then you could just like do grapplers, for construction side, for lifting heavy loads. Grapplers like these, three appendage grapplers, and we could even have a saw attachment or like a drill. So it's really up to your imagination how you decide your robot would look like. So I've outlined some simple steps on how we are going to build up our robot. So I would begin by doing a wireframe. So the wireframe is these red lines and these circles. So the circles are actually points like joints indicating the arms. So you just begin by doing a simple frame. So you have like a very simple outline of how your robot looks like. And then the second thing you do is to add on shapes, basic shapes. So it's mechanical, and a lot of the shapes tend to be blocky, but I tend to go for a more organic look with a lot of curves. So you decide how you like your robot to be, and then you start by boxing it and putting on the basic shapes. And then the third step would be to build upon these basic shapes and to make it a little bit more complex. To do that, you add on more shapes, some smaller shapes, details. You could add in conduits, you can add in wires, and also so tiny little thingamajiggies, and to make it look really complex. And the last thing you would do is detailing. You could like put in like serial numbers. You could put in special effects like make it look very weathered, like I did with the previous model. A beat out, weathered, rusty look, or you can put in numbers and lettering and labels like danger, keep clear of drill, things like that. So now we're going to start to create our very own robot, and let's have a go and see what we can come up with. Okay, so the first thing we need to do, step number one, is to create the wireframe. Alright, so all you need to do is just to have a point, and then you could have a line. So this is going to be my shoulders, and then this is going to be the torso. Okay, and then you have a line coming out. So this is where I want the leg assembly to be, and so now I'm going to begin by doing, okay, this is how I want the leg to be. It will just come out from here. I could have my arms coming out this way. Alright, so now you have the basic framework. You're going to start adding in the basic shapes. So you could just, put some blocks, some rectangular blocks if you like. So this is the main body, and I'm going to start by working on the top half, the chest and the cockpit. So you decide you want it to be a cockpit or you want it to be an automated drone. So let's just see. Let's see what we come up with, okay? So use these guidelines, all these lines to help you get the sense of proportion. Okay, let me see if I could adjust the camera so we could close up a little bit. So now I got all these basic blocks. I'm just going to fill it in. So it could be a cockpit, or it could be just the space for storing the robot brain. So take away some of the guidelines if it is confusing you, and then just clean up the picture a little bit, and it will be much easier for you to see where you're going with it. So now you add a lot of basic circles and you connect the joints, and then what you do is you just try to build up the shapes. Okay, so now I have completed one of the legs, and what you're going to do is you're just going to replicate this design over here. So you could just do lines like that, so you have a understanding of where it's going to go roughly. So over here it's going to be right over here. See, you're going to use these lines as a guideline. Just try to replicate the design. So now let's work on the arms. So think about the arms. What kind of tools do you want it to possess? Do you want it to have a grappler or like a drill, a welding gun? So you decide what kind of design that you're going to do for your robot. I think I would just add a grappler. Could do a grappler. Okay, and let's go for the other arm. Okay, so if you like, you could probably do like a drill if you want. Okay, so I got my robot completed. So I'm gonna think about, okay, maybe this robot is an underwater robot and it works in a offshore rig and repairs the underground cables and stuff. What you could do is you could like add on additional stuff, like maybe it has oxygen tanks. So if it's a manned vehicle, meaning there's someone inside piloting the robot, maybe we could change this into like a cockpit. So we could just do the frame. And we can add in the wires. So a lot of times the wires might be electronics, they could be hydraulic. So we could have wires linking to different parts of the robot. Okay, so we completed the robot. Now I'm going to just darken the lines and get rid of the guidelines, and then we have a clearer picture. So I have darkened the lines with a marker, so it's much clearer, the overall design and the look of the robot. I messed up a little bit here. I didn't get this leg quite right, but I fixed it a little, so it looks more proportionate. And what you could do is add in colors, shading, and the details to really make it come alive. So I think we'll just add some colors and do some shading. Okay, and so this is the completed industrial robot. It has all the colors and the details and the markings, the numbers and the little labels and warning stripes. And then this particular robot has the drill, and then it has a grappler on the other arm. So yeah, so that's it for today, and I do hope that you guys manage to gain some insight into how to construct your very own robot and have fun with that. And I look forward to seeing what you come up with. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.